y'all question. After the racist tapes came out here, none of y'all gave a fuck about that?
Of course, I did, yeah.
Did you really?
People talked about it, yes.
Did you really?
Yes.
To what extent?
Don't question my moral compass. Don't do that.
Eminem situation happened. I was just on top, and I didn't have to answer anybody else. And when you're on top, even a lot of people in the field, even with labels, you still have to answer somebody. Me and Dave was it. And at that point, I wanted to prove to everybody, like, listen, I'm the one running this here, and I can do this. It was a major mistake, it was a big mistake. It was a mistake for me to really get involved into a situation with Eminem because, hip-hop, of course, always started back when I came up. It was bad in groups in Boston. And sometimes it gets, talk about each other on the mic. That's just what hip-hop was. I came up in that era. The Eminem thing just started getting ugly. And it was, of course, I could take responsibility for some of the stuff that I said as far as directed towards his family and really, personal shots was out of order. I believe some of the stuff that he said about me was out of order also. But at the end of the day, it was all fair in the war, you know what I'm saying? And back then, it was a different time. There was a lot of people.
Right.
I just had some thoughts, but I really didn't realize again how big people were looking at it. I made mistakes. If I could do it over again, I definitely would. Eminem should have and still was and still is a major influence. Hip-hop has brought cultures together. Asian, Latino, black, white. It's brought cultures where religion. And I should have been more responsible. Definitely. If me and Eminem never be
if you met him today and you could speak to him, what would you say?
First, I want to apologize.
What is good, YouTube? It's Jay Coffee Talk tapping back in on this situation. Benzino, Eminem, Royce the 5'9" things. A lot of things are transpiring. A lot of people are reacting. It's a wild situation. A lot going on. So let's kind of get back off into this and break this down. You hear those two clips, Benzino on Flip the Script podcast. And listen. I just caught a live. Queenzflip just went live and, was talking about this whole situation that people are pointing the finger at him and saying, yo, Flip, look what you did. Look at these issues you started. And I don't believe that to be true at all. Queenzflip has a very successful platform, a very dope podcast. He has all different kinds of people on that podcast. Wrestlers, rappers, street legends, police, ex-police who investigated, street legends. You feel me? Like Queenzflip does a great job on that platform. And Benzino going on that show, if Queenzflip doesn't ask him those questions, like what kind of episode is that? When someone sits down on a podcast, people don't want people to, ask generic questions. They want to really get to the spicy stuff or the controversial things or just to know about things. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's for entertainment purposes. And I feel like if he didn't ask him about Eminem and then Royce the 5'9", who kind of came up in the situation, like what kind of interviewer would Queenzflip be? So I think that's whack for people to point the finger at Queenzflip. Y'all can let me know what you think in them comments. But Queenzflip also went on to say that he was upset with Eminem, but he's not now. He respects Eminem and Benzino, and he feels like M apologized on Yellow Brick Road. And listen, like, we got to really get into this. We got to talk about that. I want to know what everyone thinks. I did a prior video on this, and a lot of people last night, as Royce and Benzino kind of started going at each other on the gram, and a lot of people, were reacting and saying anyone who likes Eminem or supports Eminem, like, you're the death of hip-hop, you're ruining hip-hop. Then some people are just saying, yo, Benzino, let this go. You're making yourself look like a sucker. You already apologized to Eminem, and that's a fact, too. But people reacted in a lot of ways. I want to know what you guys think in them comments, but let's keep it funky. Let's really get into what I was just saying about Benzino. Benzino did indeed. You heard that second clip I played. He squashed the issue with Eminem. He said if he could do it all over, he would have did it different. He said he was ashamed of himself for speaking on Eminem's family and kids. He said he'd like to sit down with Eminem and just have a back and forth and hear M out. And, you know, basically that he doesn't really know Eminem and he was judging him without knowing him and all kinds of things, you know. And then a couple years later, I want to say 2017, Benzino started dissing Eminem again. And then more recently, like I said, if you go down that man's Twitter timeline, maybe he deleted some of the tweets. I don't know. But every now and then he's talking about Eminem in the stands and going off and going all crazy about it. And come on, guys, like no matter what way anyone feels about this, I can't believe that anyone could honestly sit there and say that they don't feel that Benzino is a little obsessed with this situation and can't like let it go. You know what I mean? And in that one clip too, you heard what he said. He said back then I was the source. I didn't have to answer to anyone. When you're on a label, you got to answer to different people. If you put something out, this, that, and the third, you know, I could just do what I wanted. And you know, kind of basically said he regretted it. Because let's be honest, guys, in the end, this killed The Source. The Source magazine nowadays is pathetic. The Source growing up was dope. The Source was dope. It was literally kind of considered to be the Bible of hip hop. 4 mics, 5 mics, all that really meant something. Now The Source, like just the other day I seen On This Date in Hip Hop, The Source is on their Instagram account stealing one of his posts and putting The Source over it. Like that's what The Source is today. Back then The Source was a you know, real deal spill. Like The Source was what it was. And Benzino, you know, basically kind of said he wished he let his personal feelings get in and it ended up destroying the magazine. Because like I pointed out in the other video, okay, I'm not saying any of Eminem's projects deserve 5 mics. I'm not saying Eminem is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I think M's got some dope music. I think that old record that came out, I don't rock with that at all. That was some sucker-ish that M did, you know? It seems like most people forgave Eminem inside of hip-hop. I was talking about this in the comments with someone earlier. Styles P, I remember back then, spoke out heavy against Eminem and then went and worked with Eminem later on. We see Nick Cannon recently in his diss, the third, he put out those 3 disses, and the third one, he used a clip of that to get at Eminem. And now he just went recently and met up with and Royce and them and spoke, or whatever the case was. Nick Cannon calls himself cool with Eminem now. It seems like most people in hip-hop forgave Eminem. It seems like most people in hip-hop don't feel that Eminem is truly racist. But I don't know. Y'all can let me know what you guys think. But getting back to what I was saying, I'm not saying M ever deserved 5 mics in The Source, right? But Benzino let it be known on Queenzflip's platform that he made sure that it didn't happen. He personally went into the, you know, people that did their jobs rating the music and said, no 5 mics for Eminem. Then it's already been exposed that Benzino went in there and made sure to give his group, The Made Men, 5 mics in The Source. It's been, that whole scandal has been exposed. And that's what he did. He did that. But now let's get into what's going on now, right? But basically Queenzflip showed, and even prior to knowledge of the tape, they kind of got into a whole thing about Eminem and, you know, Queenzflip was kind of saying, yo, M snubbed The Source. Benzino said that wasn't true, that Eminem went and did a feature with XXL over The Source and it made Benzino not care for him. Benzino said that he just didn't want Eminem to destroy hip-hop is what he said. But I don't know, man. Everyone sound off in the comments. But for real, that whole tape, nobody supports that Eminem tape. Nobody thought that was cool. People are ashamed of that. And like, I don't know, it just seems a lot of people forgave Eminem. We don't know what transpired behind the scenes, but let's get off into what's going on now, right? We seen Royce and Benzino going at each other via social media. And let's talk about this, right? Benzino went off on this rant and said, yo, Royce, like, my catalog is doper than Royce's. like someone set up a versus, I'll smash Royce to 5'9", etc., etc. And then Royce got at Benzino on a couple different posts where, one, he was just kind of clowning on him and having some fun. And he was clowning on him in the other one. Like, Royce seems to be the kind of guy that has a sense of humor and he likes to joke around a little bit. But he basically was clowning and saying, oh, man, I can't do a versus against you. No venue can hold in your talent, your crazy catalog. Like, you're on the level of John Lennon. You know what I mean? It's John Lennon-esque, the amount of, like, your music catalog, and obviously being sarcastic. And then he was making fun of him for that song Booty. You guys remember that song, Booty? And he had that Rock the Party joint. Like, and listen, let's talk about this, guys. Versus is an odd thing because it's more about, like, radio songs, I guess. I don't know. But when we seen the Jeezy Gucci one, we just kind of seen them going off, playing street music, everything. But a versus is kind of like, there's never a for sure winner. It's kind of all just within the listener, and kind of so is music when it comes to music. But Royce the 5'9" is kind of somewhat an underground artist in a sense. Like, he puts out his solo projects independently. He does a lot of fire-ish with DJ Premier. Like, Royce the 5'9" is like very, very hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about, like, music going at each other, I feel like Royce the 5'9" has the better music than Benzino. Like, don't get me wrong, Benzino has some tracks that I could, like, rock with and fluck with or whatever, but I don't know. Like, I personally want to know, like, what does everyone think about Benzino, like, music-wise? Like, would you call Benzino a dope artist? Do you think he has any business inviting Royce to a versus battle? Like, I truly want to know what everyone thinks about all this. But, I mean, that pretty much sums up this one. It's an old situation. I was saying this earlier. I remember when that tape came out regarding Eminem. I was shocked. I was like, really? Eminem made this? I thought that it was over for Eminem. This came out in about 2003. Right after, M was all over TV being on as the executive producer of the Tupac Resurrection soundtrack and everything, and putting a collab together with him, Pac, and the Outlaws and all that. And then this pops up on the TV. I was like, this ish can't be true. And then I thought that was the end of Eminem, but it seems hip hop forgave him. It really does. Like, I don't know. You guys let me know your personal feelings and what you think about all this. Let me know what you think about the Yellow Brick Road song. Benzino seemed very familiar with it. Like, when they were talking about that on the podcast, he was like, Yellow Brick Road. Like, you could tell he had listened to that song numerous times. And getting back to Benzino, as far as Benzino, the whole thing that he was saying about being the source and not having to answer to anyone and being an egomaniac and things of that nature, I don't know. I feel like that side of Benzino's personality comes through via his social media all the time. You know what I mean? But someone was saying Benzino has been, in my comments, Benzino has been consistent. No. Like, did you hear that whole thing that he went on there and said, I would apologize to him. I did this wrong. I handled this wrong. Almost opening the door for wanting to be cool with Eminem. And Queenzflip and them pulled Benzino's card about this because they said, yo, well, why'd you go on and apologize and say you wish you could take it all back, this, that, and the third? And Benzino said, he kind of stuttered a little bit, and then he said, well, me and Dave Mays, we were so blackballed by BET, MTV, by everyone. We were just trying to get better with them. And then Queenzflip said, what kind of example is that to set to everyone, that you'll just go in and, have no backbone and not stand on what you're saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's clear, like, all aside from anyone's feelings about this, because this is a very deep issue and it goes back and there's a lot there, there's so much to unpack with this. But aside from the tape, from all that, which, like I said, is not cool, not excusable. Once again, I was surprised that everyone reacted the way they did and seemed to forgive Eminem. But aside from all that, what we're talking about, it's clear to see that a lot of this stuff comes down to Benzino's ego, his personal feelings, and all that. Like, his feelings are hurt on this. He tried to actually sit there on the platform and say, when it came to the beef records, that Eminem, like, didn't get at him. And, like, whether someone likes Eminem or not, because I know Eminem is not everyone's cup of tea when it comes to the music. He says a lot of wild ish or whatever. Like a lot of people, I feel like, respect that Eminem can rap. They say he's a talented guy, but maybe they like his music, they ain't fucking with it like that. But I think we know when it came to that beef, Benzino was humiliated on wax and then ended up losing the source and was humiliated in real life. And it sticks in his crow till this day. And another inconsistent thing, do you guys remember back then, Benzino kept trying to shout out 50 Cent and everyone and diss Eminem. And when they stood tall with Eminem, then he started trying to diss 50, talking about he was there the day 50 got stabbed up by Black Child with the Hit Factory incident and all that. And if you guys recall, Obi Trice dropped a diss record called Welcome to Detroit City. And on it, they talked about, and Benzino confirmed this was true, he had just seen Benzino in Puerto Rico, dapped it up with him, chopped it up with him, and then a little while later, Benzino's calling him a buster. Like, I don't know, man. This is not, or I'm sorry, a lot of this is Benzino's personal feelings, how he ended up ruining the source, and he's still letting his personal feelings get out there till this day. And he's trying to fully disguise his personal feelings as these social issues and issues about hip hop, which do pertain to this conversation of what happened. But Benzino, quit lying. This ain't what this is all about, man. This is about you're mad that someone got one off on you. But once again, as I close this video out, everyone make sure to hop in the comments, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We blog a lot of other stuff on here, current events, sports, conspiracy theories, true crime stories, all that. We blog all different kinds of stuff on this channel. That whole ish with Eminem ain't cool. No one was feeling that. No one's defending that. And I seen a couple cats telling me what I can blog too. Last I checked, bruh, homie, this is the internet and you can blog whatever you want. This is like, that's the beauty of the YouTube platform. Anyone is free to put a channel together, to put a video together, however you want to do it, whatever your format may be. Anyone can get their blog on, you feel me? And on this channel, I happen to blog about things that I love, and that is music, specifically hip hop, sports, current events, news stories, all that. Like, I blog my interests, and that's what I do. That's what J Coffee Talk is, and I want to hear from the people, so tap in. It's all about hearing from the people on this one. What are your thoughts? And I'm gone.